Hi, welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're going to do these. Welcome to another Derek Does. I'm Derek. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, please subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff. If you want to check out my old videos, you totally can. There's some cool stuff on there. But today, through a suggestion from one of my subscribers, they said, why don't you do one on the engineer boot? Now, I have done already a video specifically on these Wesco Boss boots, but I recently picked up a pair of kind of no-name black 70s, maybe early 80s, but probably 70s engineer boots that don't even really look used at all. And I thought I'd just do a thing on the engineer boot. They're very unique boots. They're probably one of the coolest boots ever made, because it's more than a cowboy boot. It's more than a harness boot. It's more than just a lace-up boot. They just ooze cool. And if you look at any of the old movies, from Marlon Brando to pretty much any movie where there's ever the cool guy, he was wearing a pair of these. Now, these are called engineer boots, and the main thing that sets them apart from other boots is they have, and I'll just get to it. So this is the pair from Wesco. This is the Wesco Boss. I had these custom made for me, oh geez, probably 15 years ago or more, maybe 18 years ago. So I wanted a pair of engineer boots because I'd seen all the movies and I'd seen this, but I didn't know really what they were at that time because they had kind of gone out of fashion. You couldn't buy a pair. You could buy a pair of like the black ones with the steel toed, but it's not really wanted. I wanted a classic brown pair, and so Wesco has their Boss boot, and they make them in all different varieties. You can watch the video, it's here, but they made different styles. So I got this particular pair is the Boss with a motorcycle toe, really short. There's no like extra vibram or anything. It has a small vibram, a small heel, and I think it's like 10-inch maybe. And then I also got brass hardware on it with the brown. Now at the time, they didn't offer horsehide. They didn't offer a short one. They didn't offer any of that stuff. After I got these, probably like 6-7 years after this, they started making one like a Mr. Lou or something like that, which basically was this pair, but it's just shorter. But they offered that actually as a thing. Then they also offered it in horsehide, which I would have preferred horsehide, but this is fine. I think these look great. I've had these forever. And then this pair is a modern 70s. This has the cord nylon soles on them. Again, this pair has never been used as far as I can tell. And the only thing that's marked, it just says made in USA stamped here. I don't see any, there's markings on the inside and everything, but there's no maker mark anywhere on this pair. Now this is your classic. It's non-steel toed, has the same similar sole to what I have, with the cord nylon. I know guys who are really into the more of the rockabilly vintage stuff. They'd probably get a cat sole, and then they would have the little figure 8 sewn on along here on it. Now you can get that stuff today, which is great. Of course, when I was getting all this stuff, I couldn't even get it. I had to have it custom made and everything. But of course, when I bought those, I think they've gone up like 3 times what I paid back in the early 2000s. So I'm going to show you both pairs, kind of so you can see. They came in black and brown, and of course you can have them custom made in any color you want. The older ones generally are the more brown, but they also have the black ones. Now the history of the boots is kind of interesting. It's actually a pretty new boot. What I've been reading, and I didn't know this until I really started researching, it really only came about until the 1930s, which is pretty new. And it was made for firemen on a coal train, and that's where they get the name engineer boot. So this was a boot that would be the guy that was shoveling the coal into the locomotive would want a pair of boots that would keep all the embers, because they have that opened, so all the embers would be coming out. If you've ever been in front of a roaring fire, they needed something to protect them. And if you had laces, those embers could get into the laces, and then in between and then get into your foot. And it could like burn your laces, it could work its way through there. If it's all smooth like this and high enough, those embers, especially if your pants are here, your embers can't get into your boot. And that's the whole reason of the design of the boot. It's basically based off of an equestrian boot, and I'm sure you've all seen equestrian boots. Usually they're a lot taller, but it's a similar style. But they call it a harness boot because it's in the harness range, because it uses hardware to secure the boot somehow. Like if you get a pair of harness boots, which they still make, they have that brass ring here with the leather holding it, and that's actually to add support to the boot as you work. This one actually has a buckle and like a belt basically here and up here, so you can tighten it up at the top and you can tighten it around your whatever that part of your foot is called where it bends in front there. So that kind of holds it all together. And that's where it came from. I've seen that Wesco and Chippewa are the ones who basically were the first to produce it and sell it. Probably Chippewa invented it. Wesco then probably copied it. I'm not sure on that. But what I've been seeing, Chippewa was the first to invent it. But Wesco also sold them in the 30s. So they maybe came out the same time. So if you're looking for a pair and you want to get totally original, go either with the Chippewa or the Wesco. I would go with the Wesco because it's way more, if you want to spend the money, it's going to be more money, but you can customize it to what you want. Like this one, I got to choose the color of the thread. I got to choose the brass. I don't think they make this anymore. They might, but I know they stopped doing it. This is actually a brass roller. When I did this, and then I know a lot of people saw these and they asked them and they didn't have it. They had like just a plain one, but they might have that today. So what I'll do is I'll put on my pair, and you can just see how they look with a pair of 501s. And then I'll put on the black pair. Now the black pair is a couple sizes too big for me, but you can see what they'll look like with a pair of jeans, because that's probably what you're going to be wearing these pants with, or sorry, these boots with, is probably a pair of jeans. So I'll give you an idea of what that, and then I'll do some close-ups, and then we'll look at the details of what an engineer boot is. And here's my brown pair, and these actually fit me just perfectly. I love these boots. So you can see how they look with jeans, especially if you had a worn pair of jeans. They look fantastic with this, even fresh. I mean, these only, I don't know if these had a wash or not. I think these had just a soak, but they look really good. And then you can see all the way up. That's what they look like. You know, as you sit down, they would pop up a little bit though. So here's the black pair on with a pair of jeans. These are Levi's 44s. But if you get a pair, this is kind of what they'll look like if you wear them. And just basically the bottom pokes out to let people know you have a pair of harness boots on. And as you can see, that goes up quite a ways up to there. So you could tuck them in if you wanted to leave them out. You could go that route too. They look more like that. But this is a black pair, size 13, so they're a little roomy. Maybe with a really couple thick pairs of socks, they'd be okay. So up first, I'll show you just my pair. This is again from Wesco. These were custom, but you can get the exact same thing if you want, and I'm sure they have stuff that's even better than mine. You can just see how great they wear in with age and use, and that's kind of the look I love, is that. And it does take a while. This particular boot, they were really tough. A lot of blood on the shins getting this pair to break in, but once they broke in, they're fantastic. But as you can see, it's the main thing about what engineers are, it's basically just a solid boot that you would slide into. You've got a pull here to get it on, but you have up here you have a roller belt, and you also have a roller belt down here. Now you can tighten those up when you get them on there, because sometimes it's easier to get your foot into it because they are kind of snug. And that's kind of how you want them. You don't want them to be flopping around. You want them snug. I know a lot of motorcycle guys love these. They're just easier. Obviously, these weren't motorcycle. Otherwise, this would be all beat up from shifting. But as you can see on this particular pair, I did a shorter heel, as you can see around there, and then it still has this Vibram sole, which really has held up quite well. In the future, I don't know if I would go with a leather one or not. I might still stick with the rubber or the cord or something along that nature. But if you're looking for a pair of boots that look like this is what you can get with them. And again, as you can see, these are from Wesco. Now keep in mind, if you're going to buy a used pair, they do customs. So even though it says it's a size this or that, it may be a size or this or that to the guy, because you actually do a tracing, or I did, to get the boots, to get it just the perfect size. So this pair is made specifically for me. And then on the inside, it's just leather all the way. And you can even order it with a smooth leather, like it's a double walled. You can get a smooth leather on that. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff at Wesco. The Chippewa, I don't think you can do that. I think you basically just get what they get. I don't even think they have a brown version. I'll look. But I know they have the black, and I've found them. It's just, I like mine better. So now let's take a look at the 70s pair. So this is that probably the 70s, maybe 80s pair. I'm not positive. This is just soft leather. Once you wear that, this will all go away. It's just been sitting for a long time. And here you can see it just says made in the USA, and then has the neoprene cord sole, and you can see there is no wear at all on this pair. It is really nice. And there's no even ankle things here. It's not, you saw my other pair, so obviously you can see what used or broken in and non-broken in. And there you can actually see the cord. Yeah, I always talk about cord soles, and there you can see the little bits of the cord in it. It has kind of that look, because there's little bits inside it. And this has the same thing. It has the little V cut there with the roller up here, and then also just a stainless roller down here. And that pair's not marked at all, but you can just see this is what they look like in brown or black. And then on the inside, you can see it's just leather, made in the USA. Trying to get that there. That's in focus a little better. Size 13. So if you know who actually made that, let me know. I'm curious, because I saw another one on eBay with that stamp of made in the USA. they didn't say who it was either. So I think what you need to do is find a pair in the box, and the box will be able to tell you, because there's nothing marked on the inside. So I hope you enjoyed your episode on the Engineer boot. A little bit of the history about them, kind of what they look like, what they're about. If you don't have a pair and you're into this vintage stuff, I would highly recommend getting a pair. I like them better than cowboy boots. I think they have they're just a little more usable. I think probably because the heel's a little wider, maybe. I don't know. I like them better. But these are them. These are the Engineer boots. Again, this one's from Wesco. This pair is, I don't know who made this. It's made in the USA, but I think it's from the 70s. This particular pair actually is too big for me. I can't wear them, and it's currently on eBay right now. So I'll put a link in the description that you can put. You can go find this if you're a size 13. It actually doesn't have a width or anything. It just says 13. So if you're a 13, I'm sure it's whitish. You can get those. These are mine, so these won't be for sale, but this pair will. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Again, if you're new, subscribe and check out my old videos, because I've got a lot of them about different stuff. I even have one, again, like I said, specifically on the Wesco Boss Engineer boot. So check them out, and I will see you on the next Derek Does. Thanks for watching.